How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the week. Maybe you had a long, maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was the market conditions where you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. What did the cow say to the calf? It's past your bedtime. Get it? Pasteurized milk fast. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is OCGN, which is continuing to have volatility. And I'm hoping that you guys have been prepared for this. We've been talking about OCGN for quite some time. And in my recent videos, I was saying you don't want to be in the middle of a falling knife and you want to make sure the price can discover itself. So I'm going to give you this update. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance and what things look like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. The reason why the short interest is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we'll be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $8.13, being down 2.05%. On the low, it tested $7.83, and then on the high, testing $8.31. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see that we traded at 15.143 million shares, and for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 52.313 million shares. So what you can see right away, we did end up having below average volume on the day, and this put some pressure on OCGN stock. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 44.07. And then when we take a look at the moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 21-day EMA. We're also below the 50-day. We're also below the 200-day, but we're sitting right on top of the 100-day. And like I talked about in the previous video, I wanted to see OCGN hold up the $8 range. It did test support, actually broke through support at the 100-day at $7.98. And of course, we were able to test around $7.83 before having a bounce back up. So for tomorrow, what you're going to want to see, we need to get past this area of resistance at $8.31. And once we get past $8.31, then I'm going to be looking forward to a move going to the 50-day around $8.57. If we decide to pull back even further, again, you're going to want to see some strength off of this 100-day. But if we decide to break through it, then another area of support to look out for will be right here around $7.67. So with that said, as far as taking a position, I'm not going to be taking one as of yet due to the fact we are still in this downward trend, and I'm going to wait for the stock to actually stabilize itself. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for OCGN. So we can see green rows indicate new positions and red rows indicate closed positions. So the latest filings we have here is for November the 15th, which we have already covered in yesterday's video. So now let's take a look at the short interest. The dark pool short volume ratio is at 52.38%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 3 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 2.5 million, updated 7 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow free rate, it is at 2.14%. As we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of last week Friday, it was at 48.31, and now it is as high as 52.38. And this is taking into consideration yesterday. I'm not surprised about this whatsoever. Shorts are doubling down, and part of the reasons being is they know that we have to wait on another catalyst for this stock to move. So in the meantime, they're going to put some pressure on this stock, and it's part of the reasons why you're seeing a lot of volatility in this play. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. And now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. So we could see here on the inflow, it's at 23.44. and then on the outflow it's at 29.10. Taking a look at the breakdown even further, we had 0 on the large, 13.88 on the medium, and then on the small we had 9.56. When we take a look at the outflow side, you can see it was at 1.24 on the large, and on the medium it was 18.71, and on the small it was 9.15, giving us an outflow day. And of course these are all in the millions. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, November the 16th, it being that negative outflow of 1,241.23. Taking a look at the breakdown even more, we could see as far as for the small scale orders, we had a lot of buying on the retail side. No surprises there due to the fact we did pull back into the $7 range. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we also had more selling than we had buying, but we still had some demand. And then when we take a look at what happened on the large, we had more selling, which potentially could be institutions. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 7.65%. So of course it has elevated a bit. No shock. We know there's a lot of traders going in and out of this play, and also there's probably some people who are selling out of their positions. But one thing that is very clear though, as far as for the retail side, we still had some buying, and I know it's when we had that dip. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, there's definitely been a lot of volatility inside of this play, and it's part of the reasons why I was telling many of you to be patient. There's no need to rush into an entry. You could see as far as how the price action has been, you would have caught yourself in the middle of a falling knife if you would have bought shares last week. And this is why it's important that you're doing your homework and you're doing your due diligence. As far as the price range that I want to see from OCGN, if I want to consider to start adding, would be in the $6 range or in the low sevens. It all depends what it looks like when it gets there. I want to see some consolidation. I want to see some strength in that particular range, and then I could think about whether I'd want to take a position or not. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, the short volume ratio has gone up. So short sellers are looking at this stock, and that's telling us that there's a lot of negative market sentiment inside of the play. And this is why it's key. If we end up having a lot of buying volume coming through the play, then we can look forward to seeing those strong moves in price action. But of course, that's only going to happen unless we end up having one of our catalysts coming through, and they are well aware of that. They know that as long as this stays quiet, they're going to continue to push this price down. People are going to sell out of their positions, being in panic, saying, well, you know what, this stock ain't going anywhere. I went into the stock looking for it to go up. And this is why I emphasize you want to have patience before stepping into this play and follow your strategy all the way through. Don't just blindly go out there and buy, or just go off the advice of what you've seen on a message board and so on. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and we'll be talking real soon.